Hi friends, welcome to Love Good Lane. My name is Matthew and this is my helper today, Ramsey. And we're so glad that you're here. Today we're going to be making a new recipe. I thought we would take you along on our adventure in trying something different, but I don't see how it can be bad. It is a potato cheese pie, and it's essentially cheesy mashed potatoes. We're going to add in some these are chicken sausages that we're going to dice up, but you could use sausage or you could use ham. Any of those add-ins I think would be tasty, or you could do it without if you want to go just the potato, vegetable, and cheese. All those would be good. But at the moment, we have peeled about 2 pounds of russet potatoes, and those are chopped up roughly. We covered them, we just barely covered them with water, and we have them in here, and it looks like just about coming to a boil. And you want to let that simmer at a low boil for about 20 minutes so the potatoes are tender. I'm going to turn this down a smidge. And then let's do a timer. Otherwise, I'll be chatting and forget. That'll remind us for our potatoes. Other things that we've done, we have the oven preheating to 350 degrees. We have a this is a round stone baker. This is a Pampered Chef bakeware, stoneware. But you could use an 8x8 pan or an 8-inch round pan. Anything similar-ish in size would be good. But we've greased it so that we can get our potato cheese pie out of there easily later when it's time to eat. Other ingredients, we have about 2.5 cups-ish of some shredded cheese. I actually have 3 different kinds of cheese in here. Some is some sharp shredded cheddar, and then do I remember? There's some white cheddar, and then I don't remember what the third cheese is, but I had a couple partial bricks in the fridge that I need to use up, so I thought, well, this would be perfect. We have 6 tablespoons of butter that we've sliced into little pats that we'll be using later. 3 eggs that we're going to beat. This is about half a cup of grated Parmesan. We have a couple teaspoons of salt. And then this will be towards the end. We have 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs that we're going to put on top. And this is 1 cup of whole milk. And we'll also use some pepper to season a little bit later. That'll be to taste. You want some milk? Maybe later. We got to use this part for the recipe though, okay? Okay. So I'm going to add the salt to our potatoes, and then we'll bring you back when the potatoes are done. While our potatoes are boiling, I'm going to chop up these chicken. It's like an herb chicken sausage that I found. But like I said, you could use sausage that you brown up, or you could use some diced ham that's cooked. That would be tasty in this, I think. We have not tried this particular recipe before, but as I mentioned earlier, I don't see how it can be bad. It's essentially some yummy, cheesy, creamy mashed potatoes with some other goodies mixed in. Speaking of which, I should show you that now. This is not a recipe that I made up. It is it's called Dad's Potato Cheese Pie, and it's from this cookbook that I got, I think, at last Christmas time. It's called Simple Pleasures. It's by Emma Fontanella. I think that's how you say her name. There's lots of tasty things in here, but we're trying this. That's what the picture looks like. But yeah, we're going to try this one. Should be good. She has some great YouTube videos of many of the recipes that are in this book, and they're really good. So I'd recommend it, but we'll see. Maybe we'll do a taste test at the end and give you the verdict. But this is, I believe, about 1/2 pound of these sausages. I think the recipe officially calls for 3 to 5 ounces, which would be, what, approximately 1/2 cup-ish. Give you a ballpark. Ooh, you know what else I just thought of that could be tasty is to crisp up some bacon and crumble it and mix that in. Yum. That would be good too. Of course, there aren't many things that are hurt by the addition of bacon. Just gonna chop these up. Not super fine, but got two more. Okay, we're back. It has been approximately 20 minutes that our potatoes and a little bit of salt were boiling away. I drained them and I put them in this bowl. And now we're going to mash them up. I've got an old-fashioned masher. You could certainly use a hand mixer if you're used to whipping your potatoes, or you could put them through a ricer or a food mill. All of those would offer varying degrees of texture, but ultimately get you to the same spot. So I'm going to mash these up a little bit. That's good. Next up, we're going to add our butter. And then mash that in to incorporate it. Give it a little stir first. All right, I think that about does it for the masher. Use the spoon for the rest. Get the yummy potatoes off of there, so we don't waste any. We don't want to do that. All right. And then I have just a little bit of the salt left. I didn't put it all into the water with the potatoes, but I'm sure you know this already. But to boil potatoes or things like noodles without any salt in the water, it's not good. Doesn't taste good. So I think it's better to season as you go along rather than try to do it all at the end, because it might not all absorb. I'm going to add some, this is just ground black pepper. I don't know how much that was. The recipe says pepper to taste. I think it was probably about half a teaspoon. Somewhere in that area. Just a stir. Now we're going to add our milk. This is 1 cup of whole milk. Stir that in. Until we're ready, it's going to be good. Then I have in this bowl 3 beaten eggs. I'm going to add that in. I want to get this incorporated before I add the cheeses in our last step. Well, I guess it's not the last step. Then we'll stir in our sausages. Okay, so this is about a half a cup of the Parmesan. And then approximately 2.5 cups of shredded cheese. This is a couple different kinds of cheddar, and then I forget what the other little bit of cheese was. Hi. Okay, we're going to stir this in. This looks and smells even better than I thought it would. Okay, and then we're going to add in our sausages. Like I said, there are a bunch of different options. You could use different add-ins if you want to, but you wouldn't have to. The original recipe doesn't have any meat mixed in. Give this a stir. And as always, you don't have to worry about trying to remember this or write it down. I'll put the recipe in the description box down below. Okay, and then to transfer this to our greased baking dish, I'm going to use this handy scraper. That'll be a little easier. And I am going to spread this out in the pan, but then I'm going to use this scraper kind of make some divots, some little, I don't know, rough spots. How would you else would you describe that? But we want to rough it up because then those parts will get just nicely crispy crunchy as it bakes. But our very last step before we put it in the oven we have a few tablespoons of breadcrumbs. We're going to sprinkle that on top. It'll just give it a nice little crunch. Some yummy texture. Here we go. All right, I'm going to pop this into the 350 oven for about 40 minutes, and then I'll bring you back and we'll see what it looks like. All right, we're back. Our potato cheese pie was in the oven for about 40 minutes, and it looks delicious. It's just starting to get golden brown on the edges and on some of the dips and ridges on top. Let's see if we can get a little closer here so you can see. Hopefully you can see. It smells good. So it is very hot. We need to let it sit for a little bit. So I'm not going to taste of it right now because I don't want to scald my mouth. But I will maybe try to list in the description box below what we thought, what our verdict was when we gave it a taste here in a little bit. Give this recipe a try. It was super easy and quick to put together. Just takes a little bit of time in the oven, but not too bad. Give this video a thumbs up hit that like button if you enjoyed cooking with me today, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's free, and it does let you know when I've posted a new video, and it does help out my channel. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Have a great day, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.